Hello, this is Dr. Ryan Johnson with Introduction to Statistics. Today we're covering section 7.1. So in this one we're looking at comparing two groups with a quantitative response. So you should have read through the book already. Some important things from there is the 5-number summary and describing that as far as like what those numbers are and then what is the interquartile range. That'll come. We'll also talk about that in these exercises too. Okay, so for the worksheet for 7.1, we're looking at the readability of cancer pamphlets. And so researchers looked at a bunch of cancer pamphlets and assessed the readability levels. And so they give us the data in this table. So for instance, a 6th grade reading level, there's 3 pamphlets that fit 6th grade reading level. For 7th grade reading level, there was 3 pamphlets. For 8th grade reading level, there was 8 pamphlets that fit 8th grade reading level, and so on and so forth. For number 1, what is the observational units in the table above? So what are they counting? How many observational units were measured? Okay. I'm going to be showing you, I put these numbers into a spreadsheet, which makes it a lot easier to count things up. But I'm going to change my numbers so they do not fit your numbers. So I'm going to make maybe a couple more 10th grade and maybe one less 13th grade and another 14th grade. So then to find my total, that'd be equals sum, and then you can then highlight the ones you want. And Google's already saying, like, I think I know what you want. Oh dear. Okay, start the parenthesis and then highlight what you want. And then end parenthesis and then press enter. And so my total is 33, but yours will not be 33. Yours will be some other number that's fairly close. All right, so my number is 33 observational units. Okay, so use the information in the table above to construct a histogram of the pamphlet's readability levels. How would you summarize the behavior of this histogram? The fastest way to do this is just to do it on paper and then take a picture on your phone and add it into the document. If you really want to do it with technology, you could try doing this and then insert, and then you would do a chart. And if you tried doing a histogram, it'll do it wrong because it doesn't know, because you're giving a table of data and it's used to doing just the list of data. So it'll do the histogram wrong. But if you try to make it do a bar chart, then it'll be almost right. A histogram, the bars are supposed to touch. So if you could find a way to make the bars touch, that'd be better. I'm not going to fool around with that. It's going to take too much time for me to figure that out right now. So that's one way to try to do it, but doing it by hand would probably be better and faster anyway. Okay, so I'm going to delete that. Okay. Number 3, using the information in the table above, calculate the mean pamphlet readability level. So for instance, and then look at this hint. So because there's 3 pamphlets at 6th grade reading level, then you got to do 6 plus 6 plus 6. And because there's 3 at 7th grade level, you do 7 plus 7 plus 7. There's 8 at 8th grade reading level, so you got to do 8 plus 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 8. So that's going to be a pain unless you use a spreadsheet, because you could just do, I'm going to kind of change my, if I change this, okay. But that's not good because now you can't see part of my spreadsheet. Change that back. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this equal to, now in spreadsheets there's a, I think in Microsoft Excel and in Apple Numbers it's the same, or roughly the same function, but it's called sum product. Maybe it's called sum prod or something in Excel, I can't remember. So I'm going to press tab to accept the prompt sum product, and then I'm going to highlight these guys. I think I'm trying to remember it right. I want to highlight these guys and then highlight these guys. Okay, make sure I'm highlighting the right ones. Press there, and then that's going to give me, so 325 ought to be, because instead of doing like 6 plus 6 plus 6, you do 6 times 3. And instead of doing 7 plus 7 plus 7, you do 7 times 3. Instead of doing 8 plus itself 8 times, you do 8 times 8. And so you get this number. And then if we just divide this by the total number of pamphlets, that should give us the average pamphlet reading level. So about, round it to 10th grade reading level, basically. Okay, so then calculate the mean pamphlet readability level. So your number will be different from mine, but only by a little bit. All right, using the information, number 4, using the information in the table above, calculate the median pamphlet readability level. How many observations are on each side of the median value? Okay, now for this one, you want to do, it's easier to do it with a cumulative count. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do equals, and then sum, and then I'm going to have this, and then I'm going to press F4, which puts dollar signs around the B. You could also just put the dollar signs around the B yourself. And then I'm going to click on B3 again, and then end the parenthesis. And so then, if I click on the cell and click in the bottom right, notice how it turns into a plus sign, and click and drag down here. Oh dear, something's wrong. Oh, this is what's wrong. I did the comma. It needs to be a colon. Sorry. So then click and drag. Okay, so now it's doing, if any of these sums, it's doing sum from B3 to that cell, to this cell. So then there are 33 total, and so 33 equals basically 16 plus 1 plus 16, right? So that makes the 17th element, the 17th pamphlet is the middle one. Okay, so once there are 3 pamphlets that are 6th grade, there are 6 pamphlets that are 7th grade and under, 14 that are 8th grade and under, and 18 that are 9th grade and under. And so that makes the median, for me, the median is 9. Okay, now if you had, I can't remember, you might have an even number originally here. So if you have an even number, then you average the middle 2. And if the middle 2, let's say I had only 32, that's going to be like 15 plus 1 plus 1 plus 15. And so then you average the middle 2, the 16th and 17th. And so the 16th and 17th are both in this group. They're both 9th grade. So you average 2 9s and you get 9th grade. Okay? So, but that's not true of mine. Okay? So for an odd number of total, it's the middle number. And for an even number total, it's the average of the 2 middle numbers. And so that's what the median is. So that, and using the cumulative sum, you can figure out where your middle pamphlet is a lot faster. So my middle pamphlet is 9th grade. Okay, median number 5. How do the mean and median compare? Well, my mean is slightly more than my median, but only by a little bit. That's the sort of thing I would say. Okay, maybe yours is something similar. Okay, while the mean and median tell us about the sender, one way to summarize the behavior of the distribution of a quantitative variable is by dividing the distribution into 4 pieces of roughly equal size. So in other words, summarize the distribution by determining where the bottom 25%, the next 25, the next 25, and the next 25. So that's basically finding the lower and upper quartiles, okay? Take the 15 values below the position of the median, find the median of those 15 values. This is the lower quartile. So I changed my numbers, so I have 16. So if I look at the 16, I would be, there's 14 in here plus 2 9s. Then you take my 16 and that equals 7 plus 1 plus 1 plus 7. Okay? And so then that means like the 8th and 9th for me. The 8th and 9th are the 2 middle ones. But here we've got 15. That's going to be, 15 is basically 7 plus 1 plus 7. So your 16th thing is going to be your middle thing there. But I have to deal with my average of my 17th. I think I said it wrong. Your 8th element will be your middle one. But I have to average between my 8th and 9th. But both my 8th and 9th are both here in 8th grade reading level. So here's my Q1 is there. And then my median was there, the 17th one. Yep. And then my 33 total, I have set my 17th as the middle one. And so let's see. So the 17th is the middle one, and then so like I'm going from 17th is the middle one, so then from the 18th through 33rd are that's 16. 17. So there's of the upper 16. So of the upper 16, there's I'm going down 7 and then the middle 2. So of the upper 16, so my middle one is the 17th, plus 17 plus 7 is going to be 24. So that'll be in here. So 24 and then 25. So that makes my Q3 will be there. Okay. And this was Q1. So that means that basically you take, what we're doing here overall is you find the median, and then you find the median of the lower stuff and the median of the upper stuff. And then you call the median of the lower stuff Q1 and the median of the upper stuff Q3, and now you've split your data into 4 groups of equal size. Okay. So calculate and interpret the interquartile range. So your interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. So I've got Q3 is 12th grade, Q1 is 8th grade, so 12 minus 8 is 4. My interquartile range is 4. Yours might be different. Okay, explain why the interquartile range might be preferred to standard deviation to summarize variability in pamphlet readability levels. Well, look at your histogram. Does your histogram fit a normal distribution, a normal bell-shaped curve? If not, then the median can sometimes be better. All right? Okay, now a box plot like this is a great way to describe the 5-number summary. So here's an example of a box plot. And so when you've got a box plot, I'm going to get out my drawing a little bit here. You've got a box plot. You draw, this is the median. You draw, that's Q1. This one is Q3. And then this is your min right there. Oh, I missed. this is your minimum value there, and that is your maximum, unless there's some rules about how long you're allowed to make the whiskers. So you want the whiskers to be no more, different people do it different ways, but sometimes you make a maximum length of the whiskers and then make dots for anything that goes past that. That's not important for what we need to do, because most of the time when you make a box plot, the computer's going to make it for you. You just need to be able to understand it. And so that's like understanding the box plot's kind of where we're at here. Okay. So how does the box plot match up the 5-number summary? Well, there we go. They just gave it to you. Like the box plot should match your answers for Q1, M, and Q3. Okay. Now we're given other data compared. So then we also looked at 63 cancer patients, and the researchers looked at their reading ability and kind of put it onto a grade level. So we've got reading level less than 3. There's 6 patients with that. 4 patients with 3rd grade reading level. 4 with 4th grade, 3 with 5th grade, and so on and so forth. And it goes up to 2 with 12th grade reading level, and 17 who have above 12th grade reading level. Okay, so why is it not possible to calculate the mean readability of these patients? A good clue is right there. And then explain why it's, number 13. How does the median reading level of the patients compare to the median reading level of the pamphlets? So calculate the median. So I've also kind of put that stuff here. And similarly, we can do a cumulative count. So I'm going to do equals sum, start parenthesis, click here, F4, and then colon, and then click the same number. Oh dear. B3. Just type it in, I guess. So then I'm going to go to click on it, then bottom right, click and drag, not include the total. All right, and I get the total at the end, so that's good. Okay, now 63 equals, so 63 is an odd number. And so then the middle number, besides the middle number, there's 62 things. So it's going to be 31 plus 1 plus 31. Okay, so that means the 32nd thing is the median. And so there's 6 that are 3rd grade or less than 3rd grade, 10 that are 3rd grade and below, 14 that are 4th grade and below. I need to get all the way up to 32. So I need to go here. So that's where the median is. The median's here at a 9th grade reading level, for me at least. Oh wait, I was going to change the numbers. Well, I gave you that. You get that one for free. Now I'm going to change my numbers so they're different from yours. Make that a 5, make that a 8, make this a 5. All right, now I've got 67. So 67 for me is 1 more than 66, so 33 plus 1 plus 33. So the 34th guy is for me, which makes this my median. All right. Okay, the pamphlets are good. So how does this median match up with the median from your pamphlets, from your answer? So full sentence there. Determine and interpret the lower quartile. So the lower quartile. So for 33, 33 equals 32. So 16 plus 1 plus 16. So it means the 17th person is kind of the quartile one. So then Q1 is right here. And then 33 plus, so actually 34 is the middle person. 34 plus 17. 34 plus 17 would be 40. 34 plus 17 would be 41, 51. And so then the 51st person It'd be right here. Okay. So, in that case, let's see. How does the median reading level? So do the lower quartile. I got 5th grade for me. It might be different from you. How does the lower quartile compare to the lower quartile of reading level of the pamphlets? So use a complete sentence. Compare the two numbers. How does the lower quartile of the patient reading level compare to the reading level of the cancer pamphlets? So use your answers in questions 15 and 16. No, in quiz 15 to decide whether cancer pamphlets are a good match to patient reading levels. So basically, take your answer to 15 and use some full sentences to apply it in context, right? Remember that this is about pamphlets about cancer and then the actual patients who have cancer. And so if the reading level of the pamphlet is above the readability level of the patient, then they're going to miss stuff and not understand things. Okay, so that covers this. I'm going to give you this spreadsheet, but without all the work I've done or the edits I've made. And so there we go. I'm going to give that to you in Canvas. All right, that completes this section.